All right. So, hi, Jesse. The first question we have is, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the legal practice of a firm which touches on climate change and clean energy?
Sure. My name is Jesse Medlong. I'm a sustainability lawyer at DLA Piper in our Seattle office. My practice focuses on corporate sustainability broadly, but especially on the legal risks and implications of efforts at both the government level and in the private sector to address big systemic challenges like climate change or plastic pollution, supply chains, that kind of thing.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And secondly, what do you think are the most important legal services you can offer?
Sure. Well, in terms of climate change, I want to be clear. My practice sort of straddles the range of legal representation from compliance to support on voluntary initiatives and to dispute resolution as well. And my background in climate change is that I was a negotiator for a developing country in international climate talks for about 10 years. And this is actually the first time right now that I have not been at a UNFCCC climate COP since Paris. And my background brings a kind of global lens to what I do. And my day-to-day practice goes all the way from federal to state and local climate policy and law. So I've got this kind of overarching practice. And I think the service that is most valuable is this climate lens that I bring to those various areas of advice that I provide and counsel that I provide. A few years ago at a COP, former Secretary of State John Kerry spoke to a group of ABA lawyers and said, "You're all climate lawyers now." And I think I really took that to heart because I had been thinking the same thing to myself in building this practice. And so just being able to understand when you have an environmental issue, when there are environmental liabilities, or when there's a greenwashing dispute, what are the core issues? What are the policy mechanisms and sensitivities that clients need to understand to respond to these challenges in effective ways that protect their brand, that protect their bottom lines. So this is, I think, really the value that I bring to our clients in this area.
I totally agree with that. That was a brilliant answer. And the third question we had was, can you give us an example of a successful file or case where climate competent lawyering was provided?
Well, sure. Well, to go back to the work I was doing on behalf of a developing country in UN climate negotiations, that was actually a pro bono matter for DLA Piper. DLA Piper continues to be, to my knowledge, the only global law firm that represents developing countries in multilateral environmental negotiations. And so, fundamentally, that work for me required me to be climate competent. But even on a day-to-day basis, I'm a California licensed attorney as well as a Washington state licensed attorney, and both states are very active in climate regulation. And so, with climate disclosure laws in California going live starting January 1, on top of some already in place climate disclosure laws, and then more like GHG accounting disclosure laws going in effect next year as well. We have a lot of clients coming to us asking questions about whether they have to do anything, what they have to do, and really understanding the policy behind these kinds of laws has been critical. So I would say that on a daily basis, the success of a matter that I'm advising clients on requires climate competence.
Yeah, I can totally see it. Thank you. And the last question we have for you is, do you have any advice for young lawyers seeking to develop their skills and knowledge on these issues?
Yeah, don't be afraid to be idealistic. If you go into private practice and your niche there doesn't afford you the opportunity to flex these muscles routinely, you've only got a few choices. Your choices are to deal with it and sort of give up on that aspect of your interests, at least in your professional life, to find another position where you'll be able to scratch that itch better, or to stay put and create those opportunities. I say that not out of naivete about the challenges of it, but because that's exactly what I did. In 2019, DLA Piper, like many firms, was looking to establish itself as a trusted advisor on sustainability issues. 2020 was predicted to be the year of sustainability after the Business Roundtable changed or updated its position on the purpose of the corporation. In Davos in 2019, there was all this focus on sustainability, and so with the firm moving in that direction, I knew that's where I wanted to be. But being a US lawyer and not having those kind like a lot of relevant laws in place yet, there just weren't a ton of opportunities. So, my pro bono work helped me to establish myself as someone that could be that was is knowledgeable on these issues. Taking CLE and doing independent study helped me gain knowledge and confidence about these topics. Authorship, the firm is continuously publishing client alerts, and more and more frequently, clients need to know about these things. So just getting your name out there through publication, and then once you've got yourself established as someone to talk to about these topics, that just builds on itself. So the key advice I think is, to make those opportunities for yourself. Don't shy away from it because it's difficult or because no one's done it before. That's exactly why we need people who care about these things to not give up on their ideals, and in fact to pursue and build these opportunities so that when new lawyers come into your firm, they find a place that's already built for them, that's welcoming to them. And I'm proud to say that at DLA, that's exactly what I've done. There are tons of associates who come into the firm and say, "Oh, I didn't know this was an option. This is exactly what I want to be doing." And that's music to my ears.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jesse. That wraps all the questions we have, and I'll stop recording now.